Hey guys, this is one of Naruto's OP Neglected Remastered Part 1. Before the video starts, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I went back to in-person school, so that's been taking up most of my time, mainly because I basically get home, do my homework, and then I just end up falling asleep, and then I just don't end up sleeping at night. It's been repeating for like the past few days. I'm recording this at like 4:30 a.m. right now, so yeah. I was also sick for the past few days, and my throat's been hurting, so if my voice sounds a little off, that's might be why. If you guys like my what is, please check that you are subscribed. It helps out the channel a lot, and also don't forget to turn on notifications. That way you know when part 2 is out. Other than that, let's get on with the what if. Just to add a bit of background story into this, Naruto is still the same. He's still the reincarnation of Ashura. The only difference is Kushina and Minato survived the Nine Tails attack, and Naruto is an only child. He's actually a twin, and he's technically the youngest, only by a few seconds though. And while inside of Kushina's stomach, Kurama actually ended up taking a liking to Naruto the most, and he was able to mess with his chakra a bit, basically embedding himself into him, like his own chakra, which gave him two little fangs, nothing too big, just kind of pointy, teeth, and then red eyes, like red slick back eyes, kind of like the ones that he has whenever he goes into like rage mode. And he also has those same whisker things from the actual anime, which ends up scaring Minato and Kushina, mainly because they've never actually seen this before. And keep in mind, these aren't the same Kushina and Minato from the anime. They're a lot more meaner and overall a lot more different. So any idea that you have of them, kind of just throw that away. These are just new people, basically. Ashura chakra and spirit is a lot more greater, to the point where he can actually speak to Naruto in his Mindscape, kind of like how Kurama can. I also forgot to mention Naruto's twin, his name is Menma, and I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with that name. It's used in a few other like YouTubers what if whenever they have Naruto have a brother, and he's also from Naruto Road to Ninja, and it's also from the original series, like when Naruto was OP remastered, but like the original. And you guys don't have to watch the movie to understand this, just so you know the name. And I know this seems kind of weird since Naruto's supposed to be the OP one, but Menma actually gets the biggest share of Karma Chakra, having a total of 50%, leaving Naruto was 35 and Karma's full spirit. And yes, I know the whole entire like spirit thing that isn't canon. I'm just making it for the purpose of this what if. And Kushina also has 15 just so she can actually survive. Naruto having Kurama's full spirit means that he'll only be able to talk to him, or he's the only one that'll be able to talk to him. And Menma wouldn't have to worry about getting, Kurama's trust in order to use his chakra, but it will take some training for Menma to actually be able to use it. Even though he won't really be able to use KCM, like the KCM cloak at all, he'll still be able to like maybe use it somewhat like an unfinished version, basically, and it'll be a lot weaker than the one Naruto will be able to use. And just like when I made the series in the first series, I'm gonna ask you guys a question: should Naruto have a tail? It would be a chakra tail that Naruto can fully control. And as Naruto grows, he gets more and more neglected by Kushina, Minato, and Jiraiya. All of them agree that Menma would be the child of prophecy, which they then treat him, making Menma develop a huge ego. Even on his birthday, they all just forget about him. Even the villagers treat him badly, even though he's the Hokage's son. I kind of said that a little bit weird. I meant the Hokage's son. The only person that treats him nicely so far is the third Hokage. Even Hinata doesn't like Naruto, mainly because he once saw her getting bullied. I'm pretty sure you guys remember what part I'm talking about. But at that point, he didn't care about making friends or helping people. It was during the part where basically in his life where he kind of started losing a little bit of hope, where the neglect and everything started to like grow a lot, and so he kind of just like gave up, and he started to give up on the idea as a whole. It was actually Memna who saved her instead. And yeah, eventually the Uchiha massacre would still happen. It would mainly happen behind Minato's back, and it would also mainly be organized by Donzo. He was also able to strike a deal with Obito, which Obito then recruited Itachi, and all of that still went down. Now, at this point, Naruto is still getting hurt on the daily, which is having an effect on his mental state. At some points, he has to even go to the hospital where no one visits him except for the third Hokage, and that's only sometimes. And he's the only one that Naruto actually opens up to. It's at the point where he starts crying and telling Hiruzen all of his problems. At one point, he even asked him why everybody treats him so badly and why his own parents don't like him, which he responds by saying, "People fear what they do not know, and you're a special person, Naruto. Remember that. I have high hopes for you," which does end up making Naruto smile a little. And Naruto views the third Hokage as a father figure more than his actual father. Throughout his whole childhood, Kurama and Ashura would be watching over him, waiting for a time where he can start learning everything. The main reason he hasn't died yet is whenever he gets beat up and is close to death, Kurama sends him a little bit of chakra, just enough for him to heal and keep him protected. What makes things worse, though, is whenever Naruto gets beaten up and sent to the hospital staff informs the fourth Hokage, and he gets mad at Naruto, never believing him and thinking that he's the one that's starting and picking the fights. As of right now, Naruto's around 8 years old, or is now 8 years old, and usually Naruto is somewhat celebrated, like on his birthday, not as much as Menma, but still gets celebrated. But this time, he doesn't get anything and is basically kicked out of the house. He ends up going to the third Hokage, where he tells him that he's been kicked out, which makes Hiruzen lose all respect he had left for Minato. He tells Naruto that he can stay with him for as long as he wants and as long as he needs to. The third Hokage eventually talks Naruto into joining the academy, but before that, he decides to teach him a few simple ninjutsus. Kurama and Ashura decided that now is a good time to contact Naruto before he enters the academy. That night, Naruto falls asleep and enters his Mindscape for the first time. It's there where he meets Kurama and Ashura. At the time, he felt pretty scared, but he also felt really confused. He asked them if he had died, but Ashura explained that this is his Mindscape and introduces himself. So does Kurama. And Naruto looks at Kurama and says, "Hey, aren't you the Nine-Tails Fox?" Which Kurama says, "Yes, but call me Kurama." Kurama has a lot more sympathy for Naruto as he's kind of like him. He gets blamed for things that he didn't do and gets a bad name for himself. Naruto is also confused on why Kurama is there but just goes with it. After explaining everything, Ashura tells Naruto that he went to teach him, or he wants to teach him a few things before he enters the academy, which gets Naruto excited until Ashura tells him that he has to sleep for now and wake up early in the morning to get a head start before his first day, which kind of bums out Naruto, but he still listens and falls asleep. In the morning, or extremely early in the morning, Naruto learns how to enter his Mindscape at will, and Ashura teaches him a few combat training techniques, and for a few hours, he tries to train him in his senses and agility. He also teaches him Shadow Clone Jutsu, even though Ashura died before it was actually made, because I'm pretty sure it was made by the second Hokage. I'm pretty sure. The first Hokage was still his reincarnation, and I'm gonna say Ashura was able to see through his eyes, and I'm pretty sure the third Hokage and the first Hokage would have somewhat learned how to perform it, or known the actual ninjutsu or the techniques or the tutorial, whatever it's called, on how to actually use it. And he would also tell Naruto how to basically speed things up by telling Naruto the secret use of Shadow Clone Jutsu, which would make thing which he would then be able to use in order to learn things a lot more faster, eventually learning and almost perfecting his chakra control. He has his Shadow Clone Jutsus fight each other, learning many things at once. And I feel as if Naruto could have just about easily learned a lot of things in canon and would have become extremely OP if he had someone to teach him or the right equipment. I feel like he would have been like some sort of prodigy, but since he didn't have that, he ended up just being Naruto. Ashura tells Naruto that he's going to have to get as strong as possible because there's someone really strong that he's going to have to fight in the future unless he can help him. Naruto also ends up removing the seal on Kurama when Kurama agrees to help Naruto out. Even at such a young age, Kurama can sense something about Naruto. He won't be able to use KCM-1 yet, mainly because his body is too weak to handle it, and so over the next few years, he's going to be training for it. Then he heads up to the academy, and on his first day there, he instantly gets bullied by Menma and a few of his friends, which are just background characters. And as of right now, he's being trained by Jiraiya. Everyone else kind of just doesn't pay attention to Naruto. The only ones that are somewhat nice to him are Shino, Choji, Shikamaru, and kind of Kiba, not that much though. It goes like this for the next couple of years, and whenever Naruto asks why he has to go to the academy, the Hokage can just teach him everything. Even and Hiruzen always responds by saying that um, he has to learn how to socialize and talk to other people, especially his future teammates, because more than likely someone in that class is going to be his future teammate. Every few weeks, there's sparring matches between all the students, and the first few ones, Naruto actually ends up winning, sorry, except for the fights against Sasuke and Menma. But that's only for a few weeks slash months. He trains every day, and the third Hokage feeds Naruto actual food, so Naruto grows to be a little bit more taller, since he's not just eating ramen every day. Naruto starts to develop muscles from all the training he's done, but they can't really be seen because of the clothes he's wearing. Naruto now basically wins every fight against Menma and Sasuke, eventually leading Sasuke to be jealous and start a small rivalry with him instead of Menma. Although he wins the fight, he does bad at just about everything else. Although he isn't balling in the class, he isn't at the top. And whenever it's mainly because he doesn't pay attention in the classes, because Ashura basically just teaches him a lot more, basically better things, a lot more advanced kind of techniques and things about that. Eventually comes a day where he has to take the final test, and since he's gotten a whole lot better at chakra control since then, he can actually do a low level ninjutsu without pouring in too much chakra, which then makes him pass. The next day, they are assigned teams, with all of them being the same, except Menma is going to replace Shino, making it Menma, Kiba, and Hinata. And since Hinata heard a rumor that Menma likes tougher girls, she's a lot more well spoken and isn't shy, like at all. Naruto still stays on Team 7, which he doesn't really care what team he's on, and he sits there quietly while Sasuke kind of just stares at him, kind of mad that he has to be on a team with Naruto, and Sakura is just happy that Sasuke's there. Eventually, Kakashi arrives, and there's no prank like how there was in canon. Naruto didn't set anything up, and Kakashi sees Naruto and kind of has high expectations for him since he's the son of the Hokage, but not much since he's heard rumors about him being kicked out and stuff like that. And he also heard that he isn't high when it comes to the top students. Kakashi tells all of them to meet him at the rooftop. And by the time Kakashi gets there, Naruto's already sitting on the stairs waiting for him. Kakashi's impressed and tells everyone to basically tell him their dreams, what they like and what they dislike. Sakura goes first and says that she likes a certain someone and really dislikes a certain someone, and that someone is Naruto, because Naruto cheats. How else can he be Sasuke? And he's nothing besides a beast and a monster, which Naruto ignores her, but decides to scare her a bit by turning his head, then revealing his red slick back eyes that he inherited from the Nine Tails fox tail, yeah. And he usually hides them by using a transformation jutsu that he has active at all times, and this does end up scaring Sakura. Then goes Naruto. He says that he likes ramen and training, and he dislikes people that basically doesn't respect him and that call him a monster, which he then looks directly at Sakura. His dreams are to become Hokage and earn the trust and respect of everyone in the village, which ends up making Sakura laugh and making Sasuke somewhat smirk. Kakashi can see, the truth in Naruto's face. He's showing like no reaction to it, and so Kakashi can tell that he's being serious. Now it's Sasuke's turn, and he basically says the exact same speech about his dreams not being a dream, but a reality. About how he wants to kill a certain someone, and Kakashi already knows who the certain someone is. Of course, it's Itachi. Kakashi then tells them to meet up again in the fields for a test early in the morning and not to eat or else they might throw up. That's where I'm going to leave out part 1. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys have any new ideas for the series, just comment them, and as I said earlier, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be somewhere this week, hopefully, if not next week. And yeah. See you in the next one. Peace.